Welcome to this explainer. Okay, we've had a truly massive week in the world of artificial intelligence, and we're going to distill 24 major AI updates into one single, cohesive journey for you today. We're going to start by looking at the macro-level industry shifts, and then we'll work our way all the way down to the micro level. And stick around, because we're ending with a highly actionable tutorial that'll actually show you how to build your own apps entirely for free. I know it's a lot of ground to cover, but we've organized the chaos so you can grasp these complex shifts as efficiently as possible. To make sense of it all, we've organized today's explainer into 4 clear buckets. First up, the AI price war. Second, everyday AI upgrades. Third, controversies and breakthroughs. And finally, build free AI apps. Starting right off with Section 1, the AI price war. Frontier models are getting faster and a whole lot cheaper. So we're starting at the macro industry level, where tech giants are locked in this fierce battle. Just look at how fast the current landscape is shifting. The old standard models are being rapidly undercut by massively cheaper alternatives that are just as capable, if not more so. For example, Anthropic just dropped Claude Opus 4.8, featuring a fast mode that's literally 3 times cheaper than its predecessor. Then we've got Cursor's Composer 2.5. It's matching top coding benchmarks but is available at 1/10 the price of Claude 4.7, making it the absolute cheapest frontier-level coding agent today. And over in China, Alibaba revealed Qwen 3.7 Max. This is a model that was left alone for 35 hours and autonomously built a computing kernel 10 times better than the official version, all while being priced roughly 6 times cheaper than Claude Opus. The barrier of cost is completely collapsing right before our eyes. Now, you know what's really fascinating here? Anthropic's new strategy. The famous engineer Andrej Karpathy, who previously led AI at Tesla and helped start OpenAI, has officially joined Anthropic. But he isn't just joining as an advisor. He's joining their pre-training team to use Claude to accelerate pre-training research. Let me explain why this matters so much. Up until now, the AI race had a pretty simple formula. Whoever bought the most GPUs and burned the most electricity won. But instead of just scaling hardware, Anthropic wants their own AI to speed up the research that builds the next AI. We're entering a phase where AI models will train the next AI models, not humans. And to put this into perspective, just look at the sheer scale of money moving in this space right now. $60 billion, that's the staggering deal Elon Musk's SpaceX just struck to acquire Cursor. They're reportedly training a next-generation coding model from scratch on X.AI's Colossus 2 supercomputer to drastically scale up our model's intelligence. The numbers we're looking at in this industry are truly historic. Moving right along to Section 2, everyday AI upgrades, integrating AI into our daily lives. We're seeing AI seamlessly blend into our daily workflows, basically eliminating total friction in consumer tools. For instance, OpenAI can now permanently eliminate the absolute boredom of filling out manual tax or insurance forms. You just upload a photo, use voice mode, and simply tell ChatGPT what to fill in. Meanwhile, Apple has quietly registered genie.apple.com ahead of a highly anticipated WWDC event, where Siri is expected to get a massive generative AI overhaul. If you use Microsoft Office, Perplexity now works directly inside Excel, Word, and PowerPoint. It actually executes tasks right there in your spreadsheet. And hey, if you have back-to-back meetings, Granola just launched Briefs. It researches your schedule overnight and writes you personalized meeting summaries by the morning. And this everyday integration extends right into our media and entertainment too. Spotify and Universal Music Group just announced a landmark agreement to legalize paid AI song remixes. This means you can make, say, a lo-fi Taylor Swift cover, and the original artist still gets a share of the revenue. Over in your living room, Amazon's Alexa can now generate completely customized, accurate podcast episodes on demand, partnering with over 200 news publications. Meta just launched an AI-moderated iOS app called Forum to directly compete with Reddit for community discussions. And for the creators out there, Highsfield has brought generative AI video tools straight into Adobe Premiere, letting you just draw to remove objects or instantly generate B-roll. Now, what about the very common fear that AI is just making kids cheat? Well, we're seeing an incredible solution for that. Brilliant.org released an AI tutor named Kuji, trained by MIT and Harvard experts. If a student is learning geometry or coding, Kuji actively watches their work. But instead of just handing them the answer, it catches their mistakes and nudges them to explain their thinking, forcing them to actually solve the problem themselves. It's a fundamental shift from AI as a cheat sheet to AI as an active mentor. Which brings us to Section 3, Controversies and Breakthroughs, the Unpredictable Edge of AI. As we look objectively at the facts this week, we are witnessing some highly unpredictable breakthroughs.
Boston Dynamics' Atlas robot just successfully squatted and lifted a 100-pound fridge. The really fascinating part, it had never seen that fridge before and wasn't programmed to lift it. It figured it out entirely on its own after practicing in a digital simulation. On the digital side, an OpenAI general-purpose reasoning model just completely disproved an 80-year-old mathematical theory regarding dot placements, delivering a 125-page proof to back it up. These models are venturing into territories humans just haven't fully explored yet.
On the slightly more unusual side of breakthroughs, a Chinese startup released a device called PettyChat. It clips onto your pet's collar and claims to translate their sounds into human text with roughly 95% accuracy in just 1.2 seconds. Now, obviously, we should absolutely take internal testing metrics with a grain of salt, since no one can verify exactly what a cat is thinking. But it's a fascinating look at where consumer AI hardware is heading. Meanwhile, platforms are deeply prioritizing safety, speed, and transparency. YouTube is updating its systems to automatically detect and apply AI labels to content if the creator forgets to do so themselves. In the developer space, Perplexity has done something massive. They completely open-sourced their new tokenizer, which processes text chunks 5 times faster than industry standards. They also open-sourced Bumblebee, which is a free, read-only security tool designed to protect developers from hidden software supply chain attacks before they can spread. Shifting gears to the legal and business controversies, Elon Musk recently lost his landmark lawsuit against Sam Altman and OpenAI. Musk was attempting to hold OpenAI to its original nonprofit commitment and essentially force the company to give up $180 billion while removing Altman from leadership. However, purely looking at the legal facts, Musk lost this case largely because the jury decided there was simply too much of a delay in filing the suit. We're also tracking a rather striking international concern raised this week. The Pope delivered a major address at the Vatican comparing AI to nuclear weapons and directly demanding global AI disarmament. He released a document acting as a guide on safeguarding human dignity from geopolitical and commercial pressures. Interestingly, top AI researchers like Anthropic co-founder Chris Olah actually spoke at the presentation. He agreed that outside moral voices are necessary because internal commercial incentives often pull against doing the right thing. All right, let's wrap things up with Section 4, Build Free AI Apps. The barrier to entry drops to 0. The landscape here has totally shifted. Proprietary tools like Claude Code and ChatGPT Codex are incredible for sure, but they require expensive subscriptions and lock you into a single company's brain. Enter OpenCode. This is an open-source desktop app that plugs into over 75 different AI models. Crucially, this includes completely free open-source models like Mimo. You get the full power of an autonomous coding agent without spending a single dime. So let's break down this step-by-step process. It is shockingly simple. Step 1, you download the OpenCode desktop app, so you don't even have to touch a confusing coding terminal. Step 2, you select the free Mimo model in the settings and set its thinking effort to high. Step 3, you use plan mode. Here the AI actually interviews you about what you want to build, creating a complete structured project map. And step 4, you switch to build mode, give it one command, and it deploys multiple parallel AI subagents to code everything simultaneously. And get this. Without writing a single line of code, this free setup built a complete, fully functioning productivity app named FocusFlow in just a few minutes. It built a task manager sorted into customizable projects, it integrated a fully functional Pomodoro timer, it designed a detailed analytics dashboard to track productive hours, and even coded dark and light mode toggles. The whole shebang was executed autonomously, in parallel, and completely for free. To wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this provocative reality. You no longer need to hire a developer, pay a subscription, or even know what a terminal is to bring an idea to life. The technical and financial barrier to entry has completely collapsed overnight. So the question isn't whether you can build software anymore. The only question left is what will you build first? Thanks for exploring these massive shifts with us. See you next time.